Welcome to the Magic, Money, and Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Donovan. I'm a wife, mama, dog mom, a 5/1 manifesting generator, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, and Sagittarius rising. I'm a former teacher turned multiple six-figure entrepreneur. And as a psychic business coach, I help entrepreneurs combine the woo and the work to make fuck tons of money in the most simple, fun, and aligned way. Let's get started. Hello, my loves. Welcome to another episode. So today in one of my courses, the Sales Party, which is a 30-day challenge to massively kick off your sales momentum, make fuck tons of money, and have those consistent cash and clients coming in. And one of the topics that I dived in today was how to sell multiple things at once. And I thought, oh, this would be so good for a podcast episode. So here we are. When it comes to selling multiple things at once, something that I find really commonly being said in the online industry, in the coaching industry, is focus on one thing at a time. Get really good at it. You don't want to confuse your audience, and then only sell one thing at a time so you don't confuse your audience. Like, that's a big thing. Now, for some people, for some human designs, for some just people in general, selling one thing at a time can be super beneficial, especially if you are newer in your business, you're just laying the foundation and you want to be really known for something. Yes, selling one thing at a time can be extremely helpful. Also, if you are somebody who loves to live launch and that is your jam, and you're like, yes, I like to only focus on one thing, that's cool. You can do that. You can stay doing that. However, for others, selling one thing can feel more constricting. It also can cause some constriction when it comes to money. So, if it's like you're relying on only one thing, and if there's any type of niggles or resistance to the price or the offer or anything, and it's not selling as well as you wanted, like, you can really cap yourself with only selling one thing. If you are somebody who, especially our Manny Gens, who are like, I want to sell all the things and I get bored talking about things, then selling multiple things at once can be very, very helpful. And the one thing that I think about whenever somebody says, okay, I don't want to confuse my audience, the first question I ask is, are you confused? Are you confused about the differences between the offers? If you are confused, then yes, do not sell multiple things. If you yourself are confused, then don't do it, okay? You first have to be very clear in the differences between the different offers, between the results, the transformation, the level of support, because if you're not clear, your community will not be clear. However, if you are clear, if you are not confused, then let's just take that out of our head and not project that onto our clients. So I like to compare this to a grocery store. When you go into a grocery store, are you confused about what it is and what you can buy there? Are you confused on like the different aisles? Or are you like, okay, I know I want rice. And maybe you're like, I have to decide which rice I want or which, I don't know, lettuce. But you know the generalized thing that you want. And a lot of times you go for the brands you trust and and you're familiar with. A lot of times that's what you'll go back to, right? So, but if you go into the cereal aisle and you're like, I want, granola and I want Fruit Loops, just pulling some names out of my ass, then you go right for it. You're not confused that they have Cinnamon Toast Crunch right next to it, right? Like, if you know what you want, you go for it. And you don't go into the store overwhelmed by the fact that there's Fruit Loops and Cinnamon Toast Crunch right next to each other, right? So And the reason this is because, for one, there is not only does the grocery store sell very different things, but the things that are similar, they are articulated very well in the difference, whether it be the price, whether it be the brand or the type, right? So when it comes to selling multiple things at once, there are really three ways that we can do this. The first way is to sell very different things. So yesterday I sold a meditation. I sold someone came into the sales party, and then I also sold a one-on-one intensive. So we're talking about not only in thing, very different, right? A meditation is very different from a hour intensive and 2 weeks of Voxer. Like that's very different than a meditation. Not only just in price, but also just like what it is, right? $1,111 versus an $11, right? So not only is it price, what it is, investment in time, all of those are different. Sales party, also very different from a meditation. They all were different. So there was no confusion, but they all still fell under my umbrella of what I do with helping entrepreneurs combine the woo and the work, right? So selling things that are very different is one really like good way to do it. So I want you to think in terms of difference based on the price, based on the like the subject matter, and on the investment in time. All of those things, you can very easily sell different things. The next thing is to sell similar things, but articulate the difference. Like this is where it is really, really important that you articulate and you explain the differences between the two so there is no confusion. Okay, this is where things can get muddled if we're not articulating it correctly. So I'm going to give you an example. I last week sold some activations. I sold a clarity, a visibility, a money, and a client attraction activations. Okay, they all were the same price. They were similar in the fact that they were activations. However, I articulated very well the difference between the four of those activations, what they were for, who they were for, what the result is, what I was going to be doing. They were very different, like getting clarity in your next step versus we're opening up your bank account to more money, like very different, right? They complement each other really well, but they are very different. So I didn't have a single person and I never have when I have done these activations and I've sold them all at one time, I've never had somebody say, I'm confused, I don't know the difference, because I'm articulating it so well. Now, I have had people come in like, I don't know which to choose because I want to do all of them, but I only have the budget for one of them, like, or I really want to do, these two, but I just can't decide between. Like that I will get, but I will not get anyone who is like, I'm so confused, what's the difference? I don't know which one to get, because it's like confusion. It's more like desire, but not having the funds for all. Like that's where I'll get the messages. So you can sell similar things, but articulate the difference. Now, when we're talking about also, this kind of just brought up another point of selling multiple things at once. When it's once, like it could be in the same post, like in the same sales pitch. It could be, in the same day, different posts, but same day. It could be in the same week, in the same month, like selling, it just depends on the offer and how you yourself are doing. But I've done it both, where it's been literally in the same post and it's been in the same day, it's been the same week. So the next thing is to sell things that would make sense. They would be the like, duh, kind of course, like this makes sense. So let me give you an example. So for the activations, I also had a bundle. So it was like, you can buy these 4 things, or you can just get them all and buy the bundle. I've done this when I've launched programs. It's like you can get this one program for this amount, or you can get all of my programs in my all access pass that I used to have. So those were like, that would make sense, right? If it's some sort of bundle, or if it's like some sort of next step, or it's some sort of like they can get this too if they join this thing. So another way that this could be done is if you're selling a a program of some sort, and then your one-on-one, or let's say your mastermind or something, gets that too. So it's like, you can join this program, right? So like, for example, my Quantum Business Mastery, you can join Quantum Business Mastery, or you can get it all inside of my Portal Mastermind or my one-on-one coaching. So I can very easily sell both things if the dream client is a fit for both offers, right? So if it made sense for them, if somebody is coming into my Quantum Business Mastery, if they're like, ooh, I want this, but I also want one-on-one with Jen, and I'm not sure which one to do, by me telling them like, hey, you get this also when you join one-on-one, that is like, oh, okay, no brainer. Cool. Let me do the one-on-one. So if it makes sense, if it, it could be a bundle, it can be an all access pass, it can be something where you give them all access. It could very easily be like if you're selling an activation and a membership, because they get the activation and the membership. Anything like that. Or it'd be just like the same thing with like products. It's like you can get this dry shampoo, and you can also, or you can get this bundle that has the dry shampoo and the I don't know, texture spray, right? So that can make very sense. It can also be, or if it's like a complementary thing of like, oh, I have this I don't know, selenite wand, and you can also get a smudge stick with it. You can get the bundle. So that's where it's like we can sell multiple things at once when, one, they're very different, or they're similar, but we articulate the difference very well, or we sell what makes sense. Like, what would be the next step for them that would just make sense for them. So that is how we sell multiple things at once very easily without confusing our audience, and allowing us to open up to more streams of income coming in, allowing us to have fun in our business because we're not putting any pressure on one offer to, pay our bills, and we can just make it easy, fun, light, because that is what this is all about, is having fun in our business. All right, my loves, I hope this was helpful. And if it was, I would absolutely love to hear. Please message me on Instagram or on Facebook and let me know if this was helpful. And I can't wait to chat with you on the next episode. If you loved this episode, it would mean the absolute world to me if you let me know by sending me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Both are linked in the show notes, or rating and reviewing down below. All right, my loves, I hope you have the best day ever, and I'll chat with you on the next episode.